2018 R&A Illawarra ring out here in the main arena for a bit of a change of surroundings. We'd like to welcome our first class into the ring, starting off with class number 80, heifer 6 months old and under 10 months. There should be 2 animals to parade. And as we welcome them into the ring, we'll also welcome Duncan McInnes, our counsellor in charge, to give us a welcome in a minute.
Saw him go off this way.
Under 10 months into the Illawarra ring, I'd like to welcome our council steward Ian Galloway to welcome us to the ring.
In Brisbane at the Echo, certainly we've got a good lineup in the Illawarra ring here. We've got Michael Toon from Victoria judging here this morning, and it's certainly great to be out here in the grass. Anyway, welcome to you all, and have a great day.
judge, Michael Tuen, as Ian said, all the way from Victoria, said he's happy. Now, of course, Michael is making his Ekka debut today, so please make him feel welcome as he comes to the mic to give his first comments.
Thank you. Firstly, before I start the comments for this class, I'd like to really thank the RNA for the invitation to judge and certainly turn on some beautiful weather. I had a look at what the temperature was at home at 8:30 and it was 7 degrees, so it's certainly a lot better than that. Couple of really impressive heifers to start the day off. Really like this heifer we got in first place. She's so stylish, she's long and she's clean and she's sharp. She's beautifully balanced. Gotta love the set to the rump on her, the beautiful slope from hip to pin. It's the overall dairiness, the cleanness through the thigh, through the hocks, and the sweep and the angle and depth of rib on this heifer. The places are over the big long heifer we got in second. The heifer in first given away a couple of months of age, but she certainly is the overall balance and dairy quality and openness of that heifer that just places her over this big long heifer in second, and you have to like the udder development on the heifer in second, a good pair of heifers. Thank you.
Number 80, that's catalogue number 109, Tara Empress 5, on account of MJ and GJ Henry. In first place, in second place, Riverwood Venus, catalogue number 110, on account of the Ledger family. We'll now welcome class number 81, the heifer 10 months old and under 15 months, into the ring. Up in the stands, of course, you are able to come out here onto the main arena and take a seat in the grandstand. First time in the new ring out here, so make sure you're not shy. Come and say good day. For his comments.
Thank you. Quite a difficult class of heifers. We've got three very, very different styles of heifers. I think for me, we've got a fairly handy winner in this class. You just got to really love the length of this heifer. And I love the overall balance of sort of strength and refinement in this heifer. She's so long and she's still got that sharpness, but she's got width throughout. She's got a beautiful strength to the top line and a wonderful set to her rump and just tracks along nicely on those legs. She's just a really nicely balanced heifer throughout. Second placing was a real tough one for me. We've got two real different styles of heifers in different conditions on the day. The heifer I've placed in second, she's got a fair bit of nick on her, and I probably don't mind that in heifers. It's just a matter of seeing through it on the day. But the more I looked at these two heifers, and when you break them down, that heifer in second is just much more correct. She's got more width throughout, and although she's carrying that conditioning, there's enough refinement through the bone and through the tail to make you think that when she gets milking, she'll be okay. She's just got a huge advantage in strength of top line over the heifer in third. She's got a huge advantage in width, and particularly with third placement and the way she handles those real legs, she just has a real big advantage there over a real stylish, eye-catching heifer in third. But I think just at the day, I just went for the heifer that's just made that little bit more correctly.
Thanks, Mike. Class number 81, the heifer 10 months old and under 15 months leaves the ring. First place to catalogue number 113, MJ and GJ Henry's Tara Glimmer 4. Second place to the Ledger family's catalogue number 112, Riverwood Treasure. And third place to Sunny View Virgin, catalogue number 111, on account of Damon Phillips, Nichols and Barron. We'll now invite class number 82 into the Illawarra ring, the heifer 15 months old and under 20 months, dry. Months old and under 20 months dry in the Illawarra ring. Congratulations to catalogue number 115, Myrtle Home Empress 85, on account of the Burke family. We'll hand over to Michael for his comments.
Thank you. Just the one in this class, obviously, but it's probably a shame because this is a really good heifer. Probably not standing to her best right now, but on parade, this heifer, she's so well balanced. She's very square, she's wide, she's strong over the top line when she's on the move. Correct through the rump, she's got spring of rib, she's got depth of rib, and she's got a beautiful udder makeup underneath her. Just a wonderfully balanced heifer. Very worthy exhibit, that's for sure.
Thanks, Michael. We'll now invite class number 83 into the Illawarra ring. Heifer 20 months old and under 2 years dry. There should be 4 entries into the ring. 3 in the Illawarra ring, the heifer 20 months old and under 2 years dry. Congratulations to first place, catalogue number 118 on account of Damon Phillips, Nichols and Barron, Sunnyview Barbwire Pauline. Ahead of second place, catalogue number 117, MJ and GJ Henry, Tara Red Rose 2. Third place, catalogue number 116, Damon Phillips, Nichols and Barron, Sunnyview Absolute Fussy. And fourth place, catalogue number 119 on account of FS Johnson and Sons, Happy Valley Betsy. And over to you, Michael.
Thank you. A fairly tough placing in this class. We've got a couple of really outstanding heifers to lead off the class in this one. This heifer in first, you just got to admire the sheer scale of this heifer. She's extremely long, yet she's got some depth and spring of rib, some serious depth and spring of rib to go with it. She's pretty well made. She's a well-balanced heifer. She's got that real style on parade, and she handles herself really well on parade. It's the overall frame and capacity of this heifer. It's that openness and depth and spring of rib places her over this heifer in second. I like this really well-balanced heifer in second, and I grant that she's got probably a little bit nicer blending through that shoulder and strength through the crop area than the heifer above her, but just doesn't quite have the whole frame and capacity. And when they're on parade, the heifer in first just handles herself a little better and holds together nicer than the heifer in second. Second over third, it's the overall balance of heifer, the strength and width throughout the heifer, and the overall depth and capacity over this real long heifer in third. Third and fourth's probably an interesting placing. I've gone for the heifer in third. She fits better with the heifers above her today over the more capacious heifer in fourth place.
3 exits the ring. We will invite the first and second place getters in each of their junior classes back into the ring. So that'll be catalogue number 109, 110, 113, 112, 115, 118 and 117 to come back for the Harold Thompson Memorial Champion Junior Female.
make some comments on the class before we go out and tap out our champions. We've lined them all up here today just to show off what we've got on show. This is a wonderful lineup of Illawarra heifers. It's a credit to the exhibitors, presented in tremendous condition. Every heifer that's been out today has looked a picture. Just a real credit to the exhibitors, to the effort and time that they've put into these display today. Started the day with these couple of calves in the calf class and a couple of lovely long dairy heifers in. Start the day off, got to admire this young heifer in first place, just the refinement and balance and angle and dariness of this heifer. Down into the second class, and I really like the heifer that led off in the class, the length and the power and dairy strength of this heifer we had up start of the class. Third class was just the one heifer, but she was a wonderful, wide, capacious heifer. And then down into our 2-year-old dry class, had these couple of wonderful framed, really well balanced dairy heifers to lead off that class. I'm going to go out and tap my champion, my reserve and my honourable mention, then I'll come back and give my reasons.
To catalogue number 118, Sunnyview Barbed Wire Pauline, on account of Damon Phillips, Nichols and Barron, for the Harold Thompson Memorial Champion Junior Female. We'll ask the patron of the Illawarra Society, Mr. Lloyd Peters, to do the sashing for us. Our reserve champion is catalogue number 117, MJ and GJ Henry's Tara Red Rose 2. And our honourable mention is catalogue number 109, Tara Empress 5, on account of MJ and GJ Henry. Michael.
Thank you. Obviously these two heifers came out of the same class, and I made comments in the class. They're two really outstanding heifers here to be champion in reserve today. The champion heifer for me today, she just has that overall advantage in sheer scale and capacity. She's so open and wide through those ribs. She's got a real angle to her rib. She holds herself beautifully on parade. The sheer length and capacity of this heifer is quite amazing, to be honest, and it's just the overall balance and capacity and the way she probably moves on parade that's just placed her over this really correct long heifer that we had in reserve champion. Another heifer I really admire, when she stands up, she's a really impressive heifer. But today it's just the sheer capacity and scale of this heifer in champion, and it's really hard to go past her today. I've gone for the baby calf in honourable mention. I think this is a calf that's got a big future. She's really dairy, she's clean, she's open in that rib, she's got a beautiful sweep to her rib, and she's got a really nice set to that rump. And then the heifer in reserve obviously just got that advantage in maturity today, and the overall probably width and power and strength over the young calf that's got a lot of developing to do. But yeah, a wonderful group of heifers. Thank you.
Again to catalogue number 118, on account Damon Phillips, Nichols and Barron, Sunnyview Barbed Wire Pauline, champion, Harold Thompson Memorial Champion Junior Female in the Illawarra ring for 2018. As we head into the intermediate female classes, we'll welcome class number 84 into the ring, the cow and heifer 2 years old and under 3 years dry. But we'd also like to welcome Mr. Angus Lane to the mic.
McCormack, and ladies and gentlemen, you actually take me back in years. I was a dairy farmer myself. I used to milk 135 of these beautiful Illawarra cows, and when we gave dairying away because of them changing from from cream to milk. I couldn't afford to build a new dairy, so I decided to run vealers. So I bought a Hereford bull. Then we changed over eventually and tried some European bulls, and then we tried drought masters. But those beautiful Illawarras make magnificent cows, and my wife used to love them because we used to go to Dolby and buy calves, and we used to have 2 and 3 calves on the one cow. So I used to call them the profit makers. In fact, the only problem was I had to buy diamond rings for the cows. No, that's not right. But folks, look, I really congratulate you all. I mean that sincerely. You really do yourselves proud, and it's great to see the Middleton boys over here too, sitting out over here. And Max was the councillor in charge of Toowoomba Show for many years as well. But you people are the salt of the earth. I mean that sincerely. I admire you for your tenacity. I admire you for your guts and determination, because you know a lot of people, and particularly a lot of people involved in the political world today, really don't understand what you people go through, and to be able to get up at 4 in the morning or 3:30 and be still have smiles on your faces, and they forget that you have to then to go and clean up, and then you have to go and plant crops. You have to get your hay ready for the day, get the cows in the afternoon for milk, and probably go through. I remember my wife, we used to go farming. We had 2 little Fortune tractors. After we finished dairying, we used to go and drive tractors all night until daybreak and get the cows in again. So to all the families, I congratulate you, and I really mean that, on your tenacity, your ability to go along with the good and bad times. You know, you're wonderful Australians. So all the very best with your judging today, and thank you for allowing me to be here. But above all, congratulations, you're creating history at the Ekka, and I feel so proud to see all these wonderful dairy cows and dairy cattle, and also the exhibitors here in the main ring, because the main ring is just a beautiful venue. And I'd just like to say to each and every one of you, congratulations. And my wife Vicky and I really look forward tomorrow to presenting you all in your grand parade. So God bless you all. Have a great morning. Thank you.
The Illawarra ring here, we have skipped class 84 and 85, both animals 120 and 121 are scratched. So that means we have class 86 in the ring. And we should have 5, but we've only got 4. Number 123 is the scratching for those playing along, so we should have 4 animals in the ring for class number 86, heifer 2 years and under 2.5 years in milk. So congratulations to catalogue number 122, White Park Thelma 226 on account of MJ and GJ Henry. They had a second place, catalogue number 125, Myrtle Home Star 27 on account of the Burke family. Third place, catalogue number 126, John Dean Treasure 84 on account of FS Johnson and Sons. And fourth place, catalogue number 124, Ledger Families Riverwood Crew 9. Thanks, Bob.
Thank you. This is a quality class of 2.5-year-olds. Just right to the end, there's young cows that we'd all like to have at home. Starting off this class, we've got two outstanding individuals of the breed here. Two wonderful young cows and a really tough pair of cows to split. Today I've gone for the heifer at the top of the place, top of the line. When you see them on parade, the udder on this heifer is just really snug, and it's the overall length and snugness of that udder that she's got today that just gives her a slight advantage over this heifer in second. You've got to admire the overall length of this heifer over in first place. She's got length through the head, length throughout, and the udder attachments and the teat placement tremendous on this young cow. It's particularly the snugness of the fore udder on the move and the placement of the teats, particularly the front teats under the udder, that give her an advantage over this lovely balanced square heifer in second place. Second over third, it's the overall capacity of the heifer, the width throughout, and the texture of udder that place her over this long young cow in third. Third over fourth, just the overall length and openness of the cow and the snugness of that udder attachments that place her over this real milky heifer in fourth. Probably ashamed to have this heifer at the end of the line. She just looks like an absolute milk machine, but that's where she fits in the class today. Thank you.
That's class number 86 leaving the Illawarra ring, which means class number 87, the heifer and cow 2.5 years old and under 3 years in milk, will come in. There are only two animals to parade in this class. Catalogue number 129 and 130 are both scratched. They are on sale for $5 down here in the red tent behind me, so if you'd like a catalogue, come down and see the ladies and they can sort you out. A heifer or cow 2.5 years old and under 3 years in milk. Michael said he's happy. So catalogue number 128, Myrtle Home Stella 29 on account of the Berg family takes our first place. Ahead of catalogue number 127, MJ and GJ Henry's Tara Carroll 3.
Thank you. Another couple of tremendous young Illawarra cows here in this class. I've gone for this cow at the start of the class. She's probably just showing a little bit of better form today. I've been told the cow in second, heifer in second, only had twins a couple of weeks ago, so she's done quite well to look as well as she does today. But just on the day today, this heifer in first, she's just showing a little bit more power and strength, a little bit more capacity. She's more open through the chest and she's wider and got more spring to rib. She's also got an advantage in the width of that rear udder and possibly just showing a slight advantage in definition of seam and udder texture. Just probably got the advantage of being in a bit longer, but to the overall capacity and width and power of this heifer that places over this beautiful long cow in second place. The second place, you got her by the length of the heifer and the dairiness, and yeah, she's done a tremendous job to come out looking this well, and I'd like to see her in a few weeks' time when she has a chance to settle in.
Thanks, Michael. So, as class number 87 exits the ring, we'll invite class number 88, the Dave Savage Memorial Group of 3 heifers under 3 years old. Catalogue number 131, the entry on account of FS Johnson and Sons has been scratched, which leaves us with one group to come into the ring. We currently have class number 88, the Dave Savage Memorial Group of 3 heifers under 3 years old in the Illawarra ring. It's just worth noting that in a couple of classes' time we will take a break and move over to the main ring for the supreme judging for the juniors and intermediates, followed by lunch, and then we'll be back at 12 o'clock here for the senior females. Still got a couple of classes to go though, so don't go anywhere. Means that first place goes to catalogue number 132 on account of MJ and GJ Henry in the Dave Savage Memorial Group of 3 heifers under 3 years old, and we'll invite Mr. Angus Lane to do the sashing.
just the one group in this class, obviously, but it's a tremendous group of Illawarra, young Illawarra cows and heifers. Obviously, we've got a couple of in-milk individuals that were first and second in their classes, and tremendous young cows, real well-balanced cows with good udders underneath them. I've also got the reserve junior heifer in the group, and she fits in well with this group of heifers. They're all strong through the top line. They've all got a bit of width to them, and they've got some refinement to go with it. And if the third heifer belt udders up as well as these two heifers, would be a tremendous group of young cows. Just a credit to the breeder, a lovely group of cows.
For doing that session for us.
I was just going to say that actually, it's funny, I used to buy all my bulls off Mr. Dave Savage, and also off Mr. Phillips over at Kingaroy, so it's lovely to present an award like that too, so thank you very much.
Thanks, Angus. So that brings us to class number 89 in the Illawarra ring, the Reg Peters Memorial Cow Heifer under 3 years old, and we're looking for best udder and attachment in this class. We will, of course, ask Mrs. Peters to come and do the sashing at the end of this class. There should be 5 groups to come into the ring.
Okay, you giving this one out?
4.
You certainly can.
'89, catalogue number 135 is scratched, which means there are 4 groups to come into the ring. On the Reg Peters Memorial Cow or Heifer under 3 years, judged for best udder and attachment. We've welcomed Mrs. Peters to come and do the sashing. Thank you very much for that. And we have first place to catalogue number 122 on account of MJ and GJ Henry, 138 in your catalogues. Second place to catalogue number 128 on account of the Burke family, 136 in your catalogue. Third place to FS Johnson and Sons, catalogue number 126 or 133. And fourth place to the Ledger family's entry of catalogue number 124 or 134. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you. This heifer in first place today in this class, best udder class, so I think she sorts herself out pretty well. She's got everything pretty much how you'd like to see in a first class heifer, first calf heifer. She's got real strength to those udder attachments, and yet she's still got enough capacity in the udder to give a lot of milk. The teat placement's pretty much spot on this heifer, and she's got height to that rear udder. Just a really well made udder on that heifer. It's the strength of that fore attachment and the way the rear teats sit on the udder, and probably a little bit more definition of seam that places her over this real milky heifer we've got in second. Second over third, it's the overall width of that udder and the veination and texture today. Third over fourth, again it's the immaturity probably of the udder and the strength of the attachments that place her over this real milky heifer in fourth. A heifer that's showing a lot of texture and veination today, just probably for first calf heifer, just haven't got the strength of attachments that the three heifers above her has.
Thanks, Michael. And as they pose for some photos, I'll just remind you that catalogue number 122 on account of MJ and GJ Henry, who took our first place in class number 89, is White Park Thelma 226. Welcome the first and second place getters in each of our individual classes back into the ring for the Fred and Betty Slatter Champion Intermediate Female judging. We will then take a bit of a break and go over to the main ring for the Supreme Juniors and Supreme Intermediates. So in a moment we'll be expecting catalogue numbers 122, 125, 128 and 127 back into the ring. gentlemen, the Fred and Betty Slatter champion intermediate female in the Illawarra ring. We'll invite Michael for his comments.
Thank you. These four sorted themselves out pretty well. They might have only been the only four to come out for the champion lineup, but I think in most shows these four would probably find their way in that top four lineup anyway. This is a real credit to the breeders and a tremendous display of young Illawarra cows. I think if this is the sort of young cow that the breed's generating, then the breed's in a pretty good state, because these are four really terrific young cows. They've got refinement, they've got... Sorry. They've got balance, refinement, they've got strength, and they've got capacity, and they've got really good udders underneath all four of them. Just a tremendous young cows. I'm going to go out now and tap out my champion reserve, and then I will mention, and I'll come back and make my comments.
And as Michael does that, of course, a lady who needs no introduction to the Illawarra ring, Mrs. Betty Slatter, will do our sashing for us. Fred and Betty Slatter champion intermediate female Illawarra at the 2018 ECA is catalogue number 122, MJ and GJ Henry's White Park Thelma 226, ahead of reserve champion catalogue number 125, the Burke family's Myrtle Home Star 27, and the honourable mention catalogue number 128, the Burke family's Myrtle Home Stella 29. Michael.
Thank you. As I said in the class, these are two really good young cows and really hard to split. I think if you look at these cows and you can go either way, there's times when you're judging and you go, well, that one, I'll go that way. It was a pretty hard decision, and I think you can go either way with these two young cows. But for me today, I've gone for this young cow and champion. She's just showing a little bit more length throughout today. She's longer through the head, she's longer through the neck, and she's just a little bit cleaner through that throat and neck area today. I've given her an advantage in the udder attachments, particularly the fore udder attachment, and I grant this heifer in reserve is a little wider through that rear udder, but the heifer in first she's just got a little bit more height to that rear udder, and the front teat placement just placed a little more under it today, especially when the two get out on parade. The strength of the fore attachment on this heifer in champion becomes more evident, and also on parade she just shows a little bit more strength through the loin today than this heifer in reserve. Take nothing away from this heifer in reserve. She's a tremendous individual. She's well balanced, she's open, and she's deep for a heifer, and she's got a wonderful milky soft textured udder on her. She goes over the honourable mention today. It's the overall power through the front end and the strength of top line, and the width throughout that front end, and slightly better balance to that udder that places over the fuel milky honourable mention. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael, and thank you for your time this morning in your first ECA show in the Illawarra ring here at the 2018 ECA. We'll now take a break in the Illawarra ring. We will reconvene over in the main centre ring shortly for the Junior Supreme and Intermediate Supreme judging, and we will be back here in the Illawarra ring at 12 o'clock for the senior judging.
Just confirm this.
And thank you once again to our judge, Mr. Michael Toohan, all the way from Victoria. Did an outstanding job in the interbreed judging just before. We welcome class number 91, the cow 3 years old and under 4 years in milk, into the ring. Catalogue number 141. Catalogue number 141 and catalogue number 145 are both scratched, leaving 4 animals in the ring. The cow 3 years old and under 4 years in milk. I'm sure everybody's worked out that it's a bit of a warm day today. So what we're going to do is just have a bit of a short changeover time between class number 92 and class 93. Just looking after the welfare of the animals so that we don't have too many standing around in the hot sun for too long. So there will be a little bit of a slow changeover between some classes as we try and look after the exhibitors and the animals. Gentlemen in the Illawarra ring, class 91, the cow 3 years old and under 4 years in milk. Michael said that he's happy, which means that congratulations go to catalogue number 140, Myrtle Home Stella 28, on account of the Burke family. Second place is catalogue number 144, Riverwood Millie 7, on account of the Ledger family. Third place, John Dean Ruby 12, catalogue number 142, FS Johnson and Sons. And fourth place, White Park Rose Leaf 142, catalogue 143, on account of MJ and GJ Henry. Michael.
Okay. 144.
Thank you. Quite a tough class to judge this one. There's 4 really nice young cows and all on their second calf, and took a bit of sorting out. And I know I swapped them late, which I probably hate doing to the guy that I had in first. But just at the end of the day, I just felt I've gone with this young cow in first. She's a beautifully balanced individual, and you've got to really admire that rear udder. I love the squareness of the cow. I love the strength of the top line. I love the width and the balance of this cow. She's just a really beautifully balanced and stylish cow. I really like the cow in second. I admire the length and scale of this cow in second, and she really looks like she'd milk. At the end of the day, I've just gone for the snugness of 4 udder on the cow in first. Just for a second calvers, I just felt as much as she probably almost lacks a bit of volume in that 4 udder, I think just for second calvers and looking into the future, I think this cow in first is going to go forward in a positive way. And in a close placing, I've just given her that advantage in that 4 udder attachment, and also the way she handles her feet and the strength of the depth of the heel on the cow as well, and a little bit more overall style on this wonderfully milky long-bodied cow in second. As I said, the cow in second, beautifully framed, long-framed cow, lovely rump on the cow, and you've got to love that rear udder to go with it. Looks of power of milk. Just giving the advantage of the width of rear udder over, and the strength of top line over this young cow in third. Cow in third's only fresh a week and use a little bit of imagination, and I just felt today she just had that height and width of rear udder and a little nicer teat placement and direction than the lovely long soft textured cow I had in fourth.
Comments, Michael. So that brings us to class number 92 in the Illawarra ring. The cow 4 years old and under 5 years in milk. Catalogue number 146 is a scratching, which leaves us 3 animals to parade. As I said before, folks, there'll be a brief changeover period at the end of this class while the exhibitors switch some cattle around for welfare reasons, and we'll get that underway as quickly as we can. 92, the cow, 4 years old, under 5 years in milk. Congratulations to catalogue number 148, Burke Family's Myrtle Home Lemon Empress 60. Ahead of second place, catalogue number 149, White Park Mini 38 on account of MJ and GJ Henry. And third place to catalogue number 147, Silver Lee Cindy 106 on account of Robin Joanna Lindsay.
Thank you. I don't think there'd be too many people standing here watching that wouldn't like to have this cow at home. What a wonderful, wonderful cow we have in first place here. This cow is just a real sight to see. She's just so correct over the top line. She's so well balanced. She just walks out beautifully, and you get behind her, and that rear udder, that is something else. That the width and the height of that rear udder and the T placement is just outstanding. And just such a wonderful young cow. She's so well balanced and so well made. You wouldn't have too many dramas with a cow like that. She uses that width and height of rear udder to place over this lovely long dairy bone cow in second place. The overall probably depth of rib as well over the cow in second. Second over third, it's the strength through the rump setting particularly that puts her over this cow in third. She's got that advantage in loin strength, advantage in pin set and placement of thurls, and probably a bit an advantage in balance of udder from fore to rear over this big long cow in third with a tremendous venation, and looks like she'd be a milky cow to go with that.
Thank you very much, Michael. So as class number 92 exits the ring, we'll have a brief changeover period while the exhibitors organise class 93, 94, 95. So we will be back underway as soon as we can. class number 93, the cow 5 years old and under 6 years in milk. Catalogue number 152 is scratched from your catalogues, which should leave us 3 to come in the ring. We've got 3 over there, hopefully they're the right 3.
You right there, man?
Milk in the Illawarra ring. 152 is a scratching, which leaves us 3. So in class 93, the cow 5 years old and under 6 years in milk. Michael said he's happy, which means that catalogue number 150 on account of Henry and Burke, Ovensdale Rose 182 takes out the blue ribbon. Ahead of catalogue number 151, White Park Polly 468 on account of MJ and GJ Henry. And third place to catalogue 153, John Dean Buttercup 88 on account of FS Johnson and Sons. Michael.
Thank you. I think we started this class with a pretty handy cow. This cow's a very well balanced young cow. You get in front of her, she's got a lovely, strong, wide open muzzle, and she takes that right throughout the cow. Open chest, wide open ribs, and right through to the pins. Finishes off with a tremendous udder, particularly the rear udder width. And the width throughout the cow you have to admire. It's just a beautifully stylish, balanced cow that's made pretty right. She just has the advantage today. I love the side profile of this cow in second. She does have an advantage in width throughout when you get behind her. She has a real advantage in that height and width of rear udder, and probably just an advantage in the bloom and the texture of udder, or venation of udder today. I really admire this cow in second. You've got to love the frame on a cow. They don't make side profile much better than this cow. She's got a beautiful top line, perfect set to her rump, and she uses that strength of top line and overall capacity to place over this long cow in third. Cow that'll get better with a couple more calves in it. Thank you.
Thanks for your comments, Michael. We'll now move along to class number 94, the cow 6 years old and under 7 years in milk. Catalogue number 156 is scratched, leaving us 4 to parade. Cow 6 years old and under 7 years in milk. The judge has said he's happy, so we'll invite Mr. Max Middleton, long-time breeder and former chairman of the Toowoomba Show. Needs no introduction to this ring, I'm sure, to sash the winners. So first place goes to catalogue number 158, Allenvale Virgin 13 on account Damon Phillips, Nichols and Barron. At a second place, catalogue 155, Glenda 65 on account of the Burke family. Third place, catalogue 157, John Dean Barbara 18 on account of FS Johnson and Sons. And fourth place to catalogue 154, Riverwood Thelma 6 on account of the Ledger family. Michael.
Thank you. This is quite a difficult class to work with. Some tremendous group of cows in this class and some wonderful individuals at the top end. I've started the class with this really long-bodied dairy cow in first place. All these cows have had 4 calves, so they're all on a level playing field there. And for me, this cow, just the overall length and style of this cow, and particularly the udder, has got it to the top of the line. You've got to love the top line on this cow and the length and the cleanness of bone, and particularly the udder finishing off, the height and width of that rear udder, the balance of udder from fore to rear and the strength of that fore attachment, a beautiful teat placement on the cow and the wonderful texture to go with it. I do admire this big frame cow in second. You couldn't make a frame much better than this, but for me today, it's just the strength of the fore udder attachment and the balance of fore to rear udder on the cow in first that gets her over this huge frame cow in second. As I said, a magnificent frame cow. This is just so strong on top. She's wide, she's open, she's got depth of rib, and she finishes it off with a big, capacious, soft textured udder. She just looks like a milk wagon. It's that overall capacity and the strength of top line and width throughout, and the placement of her thurls and the way she handles her legs that places her over this really long quality cow in third. It's just the height and width of that rear udder and the overall style and balance that places her over this big long cow in fourth.
Thank you, Michael. We'll now welcome class number 95, the cow 7 years old and over in milk. You can scratch catalogue 161 from your programs, which leaves us with 2 to parade. Righto, so in class 95 in the Illawarra ring, we have the cow 7 years old and over in milk. Congratulations to catalogue number 160, MJ and GJ Henry's Tara Dahlia 15, ahead of catalogue 159, also on account of MJ and GJ Henry, then Vale Thelma 121. And thank you very much to Mr. Doug Barkowski for doing the session for us. Michael, your comments?
Thank you. Two quality cows of this 7 and over class. I've gone for this long-bodied, clean-boned dairy cow at the top of the line. You've got to love the balance of this cow. She's stretchy, she's clean, she's got a lovely texture to the cow, and she handles herself on her feet and legs. It's really just a functionality thing for me in this class. Like, you get down there, she's got a huge advantage in the rump. She's got so much more strength to the loin. The third placement is more ideal, and it flows through to the way she handles her legs. Granted, the cow in second has a big advantage in that height and with the rear udder, but for me, just the functionality of the cow in first. A cow that's going to be able to handle walking distances, and a cow that's going to probably hold together for a longer time than the cow in second.
Now welcome class number 96, the James Tees Memorial Group of 3 females, in milk or dry, and acknowledge the presence of Alison Tees here to do the session for us today.
Just for a short moment, please. As you know, this is the James Tees Memorial Group of 3. This, since the last show, we have lost some people in our industry and in the Illawarra breed. Baden passed away earlier, and also Mrs. Henry, long time exhibitors and both very strong supporters of the Illawarra breed and the RNA show. In a sign of respect, ladies and gentlemen, I know we've lost a number of people in our industry Australia-wide, but here, if I could ask you to all please stand, and we'll have a minute's silence in respect of all those that we have lost, including Mrs. Henry and Baden Tees. Thank you. That wasn't the full minute, but I know Baden would have been cranky if we had to stop the whole show for a full minute. So we will get on. Alison, our deepest condolences to you and your family again. And we wish you well in the judging of this event. Thank you very much. I think we have a fairly handy winning group over here on my left hand side. It's 3 cows, 2 class winners, and a cow that was second in a fairly tough class. Wonderful frame cows, big square cows with great width throughout and terrific udders and capacity of udder and milkiness to follow through. Second and third was a close placing. I've just gone for the group on my right hand side, just for the overall capacity of the cows, probably in the width throughout and the evenness across the group over the long-bodied group in third.
So we'll move straight along to class number 97, the maternally related family group. You can scratch entry 167 from your catalogues, leaving us one group to parade.
And 163.
Class number 98, there are no entries. All 3 have been scratched, which means that we need the cows 3 years old and over for class 99 to be ready straight after this maternally related family group.
But we've got our intermediate champion in this, and obviously you can see the pattern in this group. 2 wonderful uddered cows, and certainly said to Matty that the second generation is probably the improvement on the first, so that's always a win when you've got a decent cow and you make something better out of it. So yeah, great uddered group of pair of cows.
Thanks, Michael. So in Class 97, for those playing along at home, Catalogue 166 takes the win. MJ and GJ Henrys out of Venval Thelma 121. As I said before, Class 98, all 3 entries are scratched, which means we move straight along to Class 99. The cow 3 years old and over, judged for the best udder and attachment. Class Catalogue 178 and 182, leaving us with a number to come in. Numeracy skills. There are only 8 in the ring. You can also scratch Catalogue 173 on account of Henry and Burke. So that's 173 gone, 178 gone, and 182 gone. So in class number 99, the cow 3 years old and over, judged for best udder and attachment. Congratulations to catalogue number 148, which is Myrtle Home Lemon Empress 60 on account of the Burke family. And a catalogue number 158, Damon Phillips Nicholson Baron Allenvale Virgin 13. Third place is catalogue number 150, Ovensdale Rose 182 on account of Henry and Burke. Fourth place 159, MJ and GJ Henry's Venvale Thelma 121. And fifth place catalogue 157, FS Johnson and Sons John Dean Barbara 18. And thank you very much to Tanya Pratton, the publicity officer for the AIS, for doing our session for us. Michael, your comments.
Thank you. What a magnificent class of out of Illawarra cows this is. Tremendous display to have a look at, and certainly an honour to have to sort through these cows today. It's a credit to the breeders for bringing them out in such great form, and yeah, it's just a real honour to be able to stand here and have to choose the best cow of the class. For me, I think there's two probably really standout cows at the top of the line. And for me, it really comes down to that rear udder, especially when you get side on. This cow in first place, her rear udder is just that much higher and wider, and the attachment at the top is so much smoother and higher than the cow in second. Both cows, you've got to admire the texture and the strength of the attachments, but the cow in first just goes up that higher and wider at the top of that rear udder, and she's got a lot of milk on her, that cow, and that udder is going nowhere. Cow in second, another tremendous udder. Teat placement is beautiful, the way that rear teats hang on that udder, and the texture and beautifully presented cow. It really is just that probably balance from forward to rear udder, and the way that teats sit on the udder that places her over this tremendous rear udder cow in third. Third over fourth, advantage of probably youthfulness today, but just showing a little bit more bloom to udder and a little bit more balance to udder, and probably height to that rear attachment in the cow in fourth. Fourth over fifth, again, probably just the strength of the fore attachment over tremendous rear uddered cow in fifth place, and it's the height of that rear udder that places her over the big capacity cow following, and just the sheer capacity and texture of the cow that places her over the ones below her.
Thank you, Michael. A massive class to finish off with, mate. So we'll now move along to the Kalula Custom Stock Feed Champion Illawarra cow. We need to invite the first and second place getters back into the ring, so that would be catalogue number 140, 144, 148, 149, 150, 151, 158, 155, 160 and 159 to give us 8 head back in the ring for the Kalula Custom Stock Feed Champion Illawarra cow.
Stock Feed champion Illawarra cow being judged here at the moment. And we thank Kalula Custom Stock Feeds for their sponsorship. Mr. Keith Dorries, the president of the Illawarra branch here in Queensland, will become a ribbon on behalf of the Illawarra, on behalf of the Kalula Custom Stock Feeds. And also Mr. Tony McCormack will come forward and present the sash on behalf of Clary Markowitz, memorial sash on behalf of the Markowitz family. We thank all of them for their support. Exhibitors have done a fantastic job. We have moved to a new judging arena, if you've noticed this year at the show, and we've got a new setup there. But would you mind putting your hands together for the absolutely magnificent cows that have come out this for the champion judging here for the RNA for 2018. We thank you very much for coming along. I'll let Michael say a few words.
Thank you. Before I get to my champion cow lineup, I just wanted to make a few comments, I guess. Firstly, I'd like to thank the exhibitors for bringing out these cows. We all know how tough it's been. You're living in a hole if you haven't seen the news and seen how tough it is in the northern part of the country. And for these guys to be able to put the time and effort and money into getting these cows out in such a tremendous state is an absolute credit, and can't underestimate how tough a job that has been. Credit to the exhibitors, just a wonderful display of cows. It's quite difficult for me to get to this show. Busy at home at the moment. It's probably the most busy time of the year. I've calved a third of my herd in the last not even 3 weeks, and they're still coming pretty thick and fast when I left. So it's hard to get here, but I wanted to get here because the Queensland guys are leading the way in terms of the effort they put into putting our breed in front of the public, and it's a credit to you guys, and I wanted to be able to get up here and actually put in the effort for you and do the job. I'm so glad I have made the effort to get here because the cows you brought out today have just been a wonderful display for the breed. And the 4 cows that I've pulled out today, I'm really, really proud to be able to call myself an Illawarra breeder and stand in front of these 4 cows because these are tremendous exhibits of the breed. We've got cows that not only have they got refinement, but they've got power and width to go with it. They've got tremendous udders, and they've got quality udders, and they're the sort of cows that everyone loves to milk. So without further ado, I'm going to go out, tap my champion, reserve, and honourable mention.
Custom Stock Feed Illawarra Champion Cow for 2018 is the entry 148 on the Burke family Myrtle Home Lemon Empress number 60. Congratulations, Shane and the family there. Your reserve is catalogue number 158, Damon Phillips, Nichols and Barron, Alan Vale, Virgin 13. And your honourable mention, ladies and gentlemen, is Henry and Burke entry number 150, Ovensdale Rose 182. Michael?
Thank you. The cow got champion today. She's certainly not the biggest cow out there, but she's right in every way. She's so well balanced. When she gets on the move, you can't fault the way she moves because she's so well put together. She's got a beautiful top line. Strength right through that top line, and the set to the rump is probably ideal. She follows that through with just a magnificent udder, particularly that rear udder, the height and width and the snugness of that rear udder is just amazing. As I said in the class, she has an advantage over the reserve cow on that height and width of rear udder. She also has an advantage in that openness at the front end. She's granted the reserve cow's only fresh, but she's wider and more open through that shoulder and fore-rib area than the cow in reserve. Cow in reserve, a magnificent long-bodied dairy cow, clean bone and a tremendous udder to finish off. She's just come up against a better cow on the day. The reserve cow places over the honourable mention. It's just that udder, the way she finishes off. I love the tremendous width of the honourable mention cow, but the cow in reserve just has a better balance to her udder and a little bit, probably a little bit more height to that rear udder over the honourable mention cow. I probably would have liked to have had two honourable mention cows today because I love the frame of the cow that I had out in the top four, but today the honourable mention cow, just the strength of the udder attachments puts her in that today. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, just so you also know that the Supremes will be judged as soon as the jerseys are finished over in the same ring, in the centre ring here. I'd like to now ask Mr. Keith Dorries, the President of the Queensland branch of the Illawarras, to come forward and say a few words.
Thanks, Wayne. First of all, I'd just like to thank everybody that's turned up here in attendance, the spectators today. It's been, for all the changes that have gone on and everything, all the unknowns, well, it's been a good roll-up of spectators. Certainly congratulate the exhibitors on getting their cattle out. It's been completely unknown what you were coming to pretty much, and you've done it very, very well. It's been a tremendous display of cattle, and amongst our spectators today, I'd just like to mention one person, and that's Mina Schmidt, a girl from Wisconsin, USA, who's been over here for quite a while, and so welcome to Australia. You've been here a while, you're not long before you go home, but you've been a real pleasure wherever you went, so I hope you've enjoyed your stay, and all the best in the future. And also I'd like to congratulate Michael on the job he's done. It's been not big numbers, but they've been quality, and it's taken him a fair bit of work to sort them out, and it's finished up with a wonderful lineup of cows today, so congratulations, Michael. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that draws a close to the Illawarra section. I'd like to thank the stewards for their job that they've done today. Thank you as exhibitors for working with us in starting this the new part of judging, and thank you to the visitors who've come along and watched the judging today. Thank you very much, and the Supremes will start as soon as the jerseys finish in the centre ring. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you and good afternoon.